Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are about to witness the greatest live show on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Flipping Live Show. As I just stated, the #1 daytime reselling live show. We already got people in chat. What's up, Marcus Dixon's Pickens? What's up, Devin? What's up, Renzi? Now, today's guest, guys. I'm so freaking pumped. One of my favorite YouTubers, very underrated. I love his comedy. Even if it's not comedy, it could be real life, and that's just how he is. But I think it's freaking hilarious. Let me see if you guys can figure out who it is.
Corvalay. Let me be the architect. I can do it.
That's awesome.
Freaking Dan, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, Chris?
Doing well.
Right when you went live, I sold a pair of shoes.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I haven't sold anything yet, but we got an hour. So
all right, let's go.
Guest just joined, already sold something. That's how we do on the Flippin' Live Show. What's up, Keith? Mike is in. He's pumped. He's been stoked. I think he's more excited than I was, and I'm pretty freaking excited.
I was gonna make an Instagram post yesterday, and then he made a post, and I was like, "Oh, this is better than anything I'm gonna do."
Yeah, usually when he does like a TikTok or something, I'm like, oh well, that's why I don't do content anymore, because he just nailed it in 60 seconds. What's been going on, man? It's been a minute.
I know you were on my show. I haven't talked to you, but yeah, you're on my show or my channel. I don't know. It feels like it's been about probably 3 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I nothing. Just been working like crazy between just work and life, I guess. You know, life gets
awesome.
crazy. So
you still full-time reselling?
Yeah. Still
awesome.
doing full-time. I don't have any so last year I started last October, and I was gonna do it first. I was gonna go through the holidays, and then it was going okay. Like, it's not great. I know the last time we talked, I know you like numbers and stuff. Like, I'm not 100% to where I can't I'm not making fantastic money, but I'm making enough that I can cover my bills, being able to reinvest into my business, and I'm able to. I'm at least till the spring. I'm good again till I'm making money. Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm always wanting to work. I mean, obviously, I want to make more all the time, but I'm not trying to kill myself just to try to make as much. I mean, I guess that sounds lazy. I want to do work, but I also don't want to get burnt out from doing this.
No, for sure. I think that as long as you're covering your bills and you don't have a boss, you're winning.
Yeah, I don't honestly think I can go back to working for a boss.
And that's another thing that people don't usually talk about. Like, once you go into this or working on your own, or just not having like a boss or a 9-to-5, like your brain switches. Yeah, and I can't imagine ever like going and having a boss and all that again either. Like, I'd rather just pay my bills and never have to work for somebody again.
I mean, I feel like I've just been it's the process of doing this is what it's, I guess it's coming down to. Is I feel like I could do more, but it's the way I do things, my process is, I'm still working on getting that better. I feel like it's getting better all the time. So
getting a system in place.
Yeah, systems in place. Like, I know I was a lot more over this last year. I've really tried to get better on what I'm sourcing and stuff. And I know you talk about, like, you look for $15 to make, and over the last few months, I've been really trying to. Mine's like $10. If I can make $10 on a sale, I'm like, all right, let me, and then trying to break that down to a number of how many sales I need to make in a month, or how many like just simplifying things, and that's really, it's starting to click. Which is, I mean, that's good. So, I mean, it's work. I mean, it's great.
Look at you getting all analytical. I love it.
You like set this up to be like a comedy show, but I started off with like dropping some knowledge.
No, I love it. I mean, we got a long time for comedy. Dude, that's awesome. I think that I myself am evolving. Stacey's in the chat, by the way, guys. I think she's going to go run. I don't know how she runs and watches this. She's freaking weirdo. Plus, it's 120 degrees outside, so good luck. We are learning we have for our used stuff that we source, have our profit margin at 15 minimum. But now that we're getting into like wholesaling, like with new shoes, like obviously the margin has to come down. And so it's a hard transition for me personally, because if you can sell if you can sell 1,000 of something and only make $2, you're making $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're selling used shoes at that price, you're going to have way more inventory. And so I guess it comes down again to sell-through rate and stuff like that. But I'm learning, like, on the new wholesale that we're doing, my margins are lower. So I have to just accept that it's okay to make between $7 and $11 per pair, which is what we're averaging right now, is $11.81. To make that money if we're selling it fast. So if I'm averaging 7 pairs of brand new shoes a day and I'm making $11.81 each, it's okay that I'm only making $11. But it does get to my brain a lot because I'm just like, oh my God. You had a couple pairs of that wholesale. Yeah. So I think we've had 7 pairs from that 250 lot that have sold for over $100, which is awesome. Wow. That's what's driven the average sell price up. Our biggest, I thought the LeBrons were going to be the biggest sale, but it was actually just a pair of women's New Balance 998s that sold for $195.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. And they just got authenticated. I got that little notice today from eBay. So I'm just like, cool. They're not fake. And I don't know why they're $195, but I'm glad that they bought them. And they were just gray. They're just gray New Balance. Like, wow. They're like the women's equivalent of a dad shoe. I don't.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was awkward. So you still selling just anything that you can make profit on? Do you have you started to niche down? Do you have like one thing that you love selling the most?
It's nothing that I want to sell the most of, but since August, so a little over a month now, I've focused more on clothing. Just for before I would go out, I was starting to try to figure out a system, and I would go out to a thrift store or two a day and then try to find things that I was going to make between $15, $20 an item, and then come home, list that stuff, and then go out and do it again tomorrow. Like, do that. And then wait for, I like to source at the bins too. Go to the bins once a week and then get hopefully a bunch of stuff that I have like $2 into each item, around like a small thing, and do that. And then my old dog passed away, and then I got a new dog. And,
this has not been a good start to comedy, by the way.
I know this is horrible, but I know. Hey, because you did say in the beginning that you don't know if it's real or fake. It's not fake. Like, you try to tell me to be funny, I'm not going to be funny. But
I don't know. This is pretty hilarious to me, but maybe I'm just demented.
I mean, it's so more. But anyway, I got a new dog, and it's just like it's hard to get out and source right now when I'm trying to train a new dog and get acclimated to him and our lives, I guess. So it's so weird. I don't know if you're not a dog people, you won't understand. But if you're a dog person, yeah, I know you're a dog person.
He has his name's Dodger, right?
Yeah, Dodger.
Okay, he has separation anxiety.
Yeah, like super bad, like just horrible. I can't leave the house. Like, my mom comes over and watches him, so my life revolves around.
You got him from a rescue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Like 99.9% of animals that come from a rescue or an animal shelter have separation anxiety because they probably either got ditched or.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was a stray. He was running around the streets of Texas.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, so he's definitely got separation anxiety. If he's from Texas and now he's up there, he's like, whoa, wait, what's going on?
So I was running out of stuff to list, and before I don't have anything again. Like, when you first start following me, I'm parting out board games and stuff, which I have nothing against. I'll do that stuff.
Yeah.
But, I want to have some bigger. I don't want to, ship out 6 things tomorrow and I'll be, from one board game or something and make, $10 or whatever. Yeah. Like, I have nothing against doing that. I will do that, definitely. But right now I'm trying to scale, but just trying to get a better system in place. When my buzzer goes off, I'm making real money for myself. Yeah. And, so I'm like, man, it's really going to hurt. Like, what am I going to do? So what am I going to do? I'm like, I can go, clothes are still pretty cheap at the thrift store. And I'm just hopefully just hunker down and look at sell-through rates and sell stuff. And it's been going pretty good, but I can buy a big quantity of stuff. I can go, if it's not a 50% off sale, because they only have those like once a month now. It used to be every other week. So now it's once a month. And I'm able to get stuff for $3 or $4, but if I'm spending $7 or $8, if I'm hopefully selling it for $25, $30, I'm okay with that. And it keeps me busy for the week. So I don't have to go source a couple days a week. And I'm good for getting enough listings up that I'm happy with for the week. So I guess I have niched down. Like before I came on here, I stopped at a thrift store. I didn't even have time. I was limited time, so I only had enough time to go through. I didn't even finish getting through the clothes. So
Oh, nice. Yeah, see, that's the one thing. Like, clothes is overwhelming to me because there's an echo now. Oh, there we go.
is there?
Because when you walk into a thrift store, it's like there's clothes everywhere. And so,
Yeah.
do you want to look at every aisle? Do you want to touch like when I used to like look for vintage stuff, like you have to touch every t-shirt, like because you have to like look at the tags or find a faster way to do it, which was for me was always just to look for the stitch and just see if I saw a single. But yeah, like I've seen that you're really good at jeans and you've identified which Levi's are the ones that you like to sell and which ones sell the most for you, which I think is like anything over the 550.
Yeah, I like 560s.
Yeah.
560s are great, and I just picked up 541s today. I think or
Mhm.
541s. Those a buck. I got all my information's all from YouTube. I'll say hi to like I didn't know anything about shoes until I started watching Renzi. I was following them. I was scared to sell shoes until I found Renzi and I started watching them.
Yeah.
I was deathly afraid to do shoes. Like I had no idea. I was donating my shoes to Goodwill because I didn't know I could sell them. And then I found Renzi watching them and I'm like, oh my God, I gave away such good shoes to Goodwill because I was
Yeah.
scared.
You're like, oh God, I could go buy those back.
So all my
probably.
information's from just learning from watching YouTube. But yeah, Buckle's been really good. I used to pass on Buckle jeans. Those do great. There was what's that other one? Oh my God, Lucky Brand. I pass on those all the time.
Yep.
Those have been great too. So
Yeah, I used to pass on Lucky and True Religion, and all of a sudden we started selling True Religion jeans like crazy. I was like, what? Me personally, I'm like, I'll pick them up and I see all these, the big horseshoe ass pockets and all this weird, flair. Like if you've ever seen Office Space, and I'm just like, who wears these? Yeah, I'm like, who's wearing these? And then they'll sell for $40, and I'm like, that person's wearing them. oh, am I about to sell a pair of shoes? $45.
If you want me to wear 15 pieces of flair, tell me to wear 15 pieces.
I love that movie. I love that it was filmed in Texas. I hate that it was filmed in Austin because that's kind of like California of Texas. But either way, it was filmed in Texas. That was such a good movie. Yeah, it's funny you said that about shoes because I think like everyone within the YouTube circle and the Instagram circle that I personally that we follow that even is in the shoe category, it all trickles back to Renzi now. And so my brain is like, well, damn, who did they learn from?
Even a lot of stuff. So I've started beginning of the year. I wasn't selling a lot on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes I would do some bigger things. I would try to sell on Facebook Marketplace and I wouldn't sell anything. And then the shipping came available to me. So I started doing shipping. And then like I want to sell, only paying 5% fees. I'm like, I would rather sell most of my stuff over on Facebook Marketplace if I can, instead of having, on eBay, I'm doing trending plus stuff promoting. I'm trying to price it. So I'm not, I'm like, oh my God, my head's going to explode trying to figure it out. And then I've used that same strategy that they used starting their shoes. Like they priced them $25. I've tried to price my stuff down a little bit on Facebook. Then I would try to sell it on eBay because I wanted to sell over there because I only want to pay 5%. And I got that from them too.
Yeah. So I am not, I don't know what it is. Like we got the 250 pairs of brand new shoes, right? And I was like, cool, this is going to be my toes in the water into cross listing on Facebook because everybody keeps talking about how Marketplace is great. So I figured, screw it, new shoes, it should be great. I cross listed from eBay to there, and the shoes weren't getting any views. I don't know if it's because Facebook thought it was a stock photo because the first photo is a white background. But I got nothing, and then I was like, oh well, nobody wants to look at my shoes because they see my main photo and they're like, oh, that guy looks like a serial killer. I don't want to buy anything from him. So I changed that. I just put like a picture of the kids. Nothing. So
for real?
Yeah, I get zero traction on Facebook. So I don't know. Maybe I've said too many offensive things over the years, and Facebook just permanently just disabled my ability.
Have you been like what do you call it? Like, not have you been like timed out on Facebook?
No, I've never. I live my life on that line, man. I don't try to jump over. I live right on that line to where I've never even gotten like a, hey man, you probably don't want to post that. That's not going to work here.
The one thing I was listening to, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, was Paul the Philly Flipper. He was saying something about starting he has a business Facebook account.
Yeah.
So is that what you have?
Well, I have like the Flip the World page, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to sell on here, like, because you can open up a store.
Yeah.
But I put a few listings on there, and it doesn't seem like it's the same as Marketplace. It's actually just like a store. Like you would have to direct traffic to your items.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, no, that's
so crazy because I get like it's crazy. I will look. I have felt that eBay something's wrong with there's some kind of glitch in your views. I don't know if I could be just completely making this up, that I'm just posting stuff that sucks. But
no, this is facts. People, listen up.
I'll have like 8 views on something, and I'm like, what? But then I'll go over to Facebook, and I'll have 400 and some views on it in an hour or something. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it's just a difference between the phone and the actual app. I mean, I don't think I've ever gotten on Facebook on an actual computer in my entire life. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that you could get on Instagram on a desktop computer. I had no clue. I thought that was literally just for your phone. I'm just like, boom.
I only use it to get the link to come on here. That's about it.
Yeah, like I have no clue how any of that stuff works. Facebook Marketplace just never has worked for me. And then like the times that I was listing stuff for local, not shipping,
crazy,
just too many flakes, man. Just it drives me nuts because even if as a buyer, like if I see somebody that's selling a bunch of shoes and I'm like, hey, that's the other thing. I hate that stupid "is this available" button because I think everybody just pushes it, and then they have no intention of buying it. They just like to push the button. I don't know.
Think some of it is I think it's sensitive, and you touch something and it automatically sends it. But I get that all the time, and then I'm like, yeah, it's available, and then they don't say anything.
And then I'm just like, why did you ask?
What's the lowest you'll go? And then I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, cool. It's like Craigslist or OfferUp. Great, thanks, Facebook.
But once you get through that, it's been good. I've had spurts where I've been really good, and then I've had spurts where it's died down and haven't had a sale in a while. But I mean, it's overall, I'm happy with it. It's been good.
What's a computer? Yeah, they do everything from their phone, even printing, which I didn't even know printers could be wireless or Bluetooth. Like, dude,
they print from
serious. If I could turn my webcam around, if it wasn't duct taped to a stick, you would see like I have milk crates and like this desk was built by trash. No,
that was a really loud laugh. I have like wine crates up here or something.
Hey, as long as it's working, like you have a business or a personal eBay. I have it was a regular one, and then I just upgraded to a store. I don't know if that makes it a business. Oh no, it's a business. Yeah, I have a business one. Sorry.
Wait, how do you know I don't remember if I switched over to a business one.
Yeah, I switched ours to a business when I realized that the money it's gonna. I mean, not like the 1099 or any of that matters because you can always do it. Sole proprietor is still a single or a business unless you're LLC. But we're a business.
I think I'm still personal, but I feel like I could have switched it to business. Is there a reason to switch it to the other?
I don't know.
Like
I need to put this thing on there though. Our Texas sales and use permit, like our reseller certificate. If you put that in your eBay store, like you can add it when you buy things. You don't pay taxes on them. Like if you buy like eBay supplies, you get the same thing. Like if you take that to the thrift store, I don't have to pay taxes on that stuff anymore. Which is, I mean, it's not a huge saving, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, that helps.
Yeah, anytime you don't have to pay extra. Yeah, exactly. Milk crate life is the best, unless you're trying to do that. Hey, let me climb up these milk crates and kill myself for go viral. I was going to do that and just have one milk crate, and I was going to step on it and just fall off and be like, yep, that's my world. I have no balance. Best find of the week. What'd you find this week?
What did I find anything good the other day? Nothing. I found this. It's like not an aviator jacket. Let me see if I can get it. I don't know what it is yet.
What's up, Flippy?
It's like a bomber jacket,
Oh, nice.
but it's just I've never heard of this. I just bought this today, and I looked up this brand, and some of the stuff I can't find this like polyester nylon one. But
Averex.
Some of the other stuff was so good. It sold pretty well that I just went ahead and took a shot. It was $7. $7. So I think this is like 30 or 40 bucks, but which is great for me. If you follow me, 20, 30 bucks is great. That's like that's what I sell, man. So I hear other people like, oh, that's a nice filler, or they say filler, or I don't know. That's gold.
It's like a padding on their day, like small.
I mean, small. I they come in stages where a few weeks ago, like back to back, I sold a pair of jeans for like $70. I sold a pair of jeans for $90, and like those are awesome. But those are few and far between. Everything I got is just, I guess, bread and butter. I think these are bread and butter. That's what I sell. Just stuff like that.
I mean, that's what adds up. I mean, most of the shoes that we sell are technically like the bread and butter. Like I always tell people, like we sell our shoes in the $25 to $40 range because that's the range that is the most sold on eBay. Now, obviously, we price them a little higher and we do things like that, but you got to go with what the reason I love eBay, which is hard that because everybody has their gripes with eBay. Of course, I have mine as well, but the main reason that I like eBay is because of all the Terapeak research that you get free, like the stuff that nobody uses except for analytical.
I don't.
Yeah, nerds like me love that stuff because they can be like, oh, it takes the guesswork out of like, hey, let's see what is the number one selling thing right now in used men's shoes. Boom, black Nikes. Cool. Now I know in my head when I'm out thrifting, black Nikes are the number one selling used shoe right now.
See, now I need to use that more because. I mean, that's good. That's good information.
It's just little things like that just kind of, it's a little extra spur in your cap when you're out thrifting. I like the treasure hunt. I also, I like exploring and trying to find things but at the same time, I want to have like at least some kind of base point to know, like,
yeah.
Because if I go into a store without like a plan, I end up coming home with stuff that's not for resale. It's like for personal hoarding. And then my brain, like the next day, I'm like, crap, I can't return this, and now I regret it.
Excuse me. I just had a epiphany. I don't know. I probably used that word wrong, but I went to the bins the other day, and I'm showing you this stupid jacket I bought that I have no idea if you guys could know what that brand is and tell me it's a $15 jacket, and I wouldn't know right now. But I found an Xbox drum set the other day at the bins.
Nice.
I mean, that's a great find. I love that find. Like I find those all the time at the bins because no one wants to buy them there.
Yep.
And I'll just buy them. I don't care. I'll buy it.
Well, I think Drew Profit Monsters and a few other people have like started keeping that trend of live of like, hey, you can pack this, you can ship this, you can figure out how to make this work, and it sells for good money.
And then recently I just before I had one in my garage that I didn't have the pedal to it, I didn't have something else to it, so I just ripped it apart and just parted it out. And
you sold like the individual heads, right?
I sold the pads together, I sold the legs together, I sold the battery cover by itself together.
Oh, I did see that one. It's like $13.
Like and you could, and then in my last video I just sold the pads for $30. I took a best offer of $30 on it, and in the video I mentioned like, oh yeah, if you see it, you want to mess with it, just take the battery cover off of it. So I'm looking at the bins and I see that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna take at least the battery cover, and then the whole thing was there. I'm like, oh, I'll just.
You're gonna start a trend of people just taking the battery cover, and so then you're gonna have this whole other section of resellers that are like, man, I got all these freaking drum sets, but there's no battery covers.
How many times do you go? Well, you go to them. I was gonna say, I don't know if you go to the bins. How many times do you? Well, I don't know if you look for this. Like if you see like a remote control car. And you're like so pumped about it, and
flip it over.
People take the battery.
Yep.
Because so that's a good thing. Because I've taken, if it's a cool car, I'll take the car and I rip off I need to start taking a screwdriver there so I can undo the body, because I'll just sell the body. But I don't want to pay that weight on the rest of that stuff.
For sure.
You can part out the rest of that stuff too, but that's just getting a little bit too much for me. I don't want to do all that.
I always try to encourage people not to like carry tools with them, but part things out, especially if you go to the bins. Like there's nothing that says you can't.
Yeah.
So why would you like buy the whole car when you just want the battery or the cover? I do that with shoelaces. If I'm at the bins and it's just not a good day shoe wise, I will sit there and I'll pull shoelaces out of all the
God,
crap
that's a
shoes
great
that are gonna
idea.
go. Yeah, they're all gonna get thrown in the trash anyway.
I got
I'll
this
just
pair of
take.
shoes. I got the bins, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have shoelaces.
Oh, dude, I
that's
have
great.
drawers full of shoelaces because I'm like, oh, cool. Well,
I love that idea.
they're not bringing out shoes for the next 20 minutes. I'm gonna start pulling laces on all the broken shoes. I collect those the little like they're called shoe tags or whatever, like Air Force Ones and Nikes have
Right
the
on the
metal.
front.
You could sell those for $10.
Really?
Just the little tabs, yeah. People buy those like crazy. So I'll take those. I just because I don't want the whole shoe, but I want the laces
I
if
do
they're
that
clean.
for game board pieces too.
Oh, see, yeah, it's the same thing. Just you don't have to take the whole shoe. Just take what you need.
I try to I will be honest. I'll try to make sure I don't want the game, and if it's missing,
Yeah.
I'll look through it and I'll see it. And then if it's messed up, I won't buy it. But I'll take the pieces because I kind of feel bad. But then I don't know how many times I go to find a board game and it's just the empty box, like or it's missing the board or something. Like
somebody else has already done what you want to do.
Too. They rip it up. I found it was like a WWE Slambulance toy, and it was like when you're wrestling with your figures, you throw it and it breaks apart the ambulance, and it was sitting there the whole day because it looked like it was just junk. And I went through the bin and found all the pieces and put it all back together, except for it was missing one piece, but I still got it and I still sold it for $20. Like,
yeah, that the wrestling stuff always sells. Like that's one of those like trends that it never goes out of style.
But Annie says her bins doesn't have shoes. What?
Yeah, well, then that's not a bins. That's not a bins to me. You might as well burn that place down.
My bin shoe store, the bins at the shoe were just this time last year it was like non-existent. Never find a pair of shoes there. And then somehow in the spring it just like was a floodgate of just shoes galore. I'll spend an hour in there looking through the shoes.
I think they send them to wherever they're getting the most sales, kind of like because we don't get a lot of like Astros or Houston stuff at our bins. We get a lot of St. Louis Cardinals stuff, which lets me know that they're bringing stuff from up
I've heard
there.
You say that before.
Yeah, so we're a heavy shoe city, I'm assuming, because our bins all like have lots of shoes. Flippy says his best find was $700 worth of processors that he pulled out of old synthesizers. That is awesome.
Man, what's up, Evan? Everything he finds is the best finds he has.
I know.
Oh,
he has other than your comedic slash not comedic YouTube videos, like the way that you present your videos, his like magician magic.
Oh, I love that stuff.
His intros are always like,
I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's the best.
He asked me one time if I could get if he could use me in the intro, and I was one of his intros, and I was like the creepy guy at the door.
He used one of our IKEA bags for one, I think.
I saw it. Yeah.
I've seen that one. And I was just like, yes, that's awesome.
They're awesome.
We haven't. It's weird to say this, but we haven't been to a thrift store. So like for my best find this week, we just had 1,000 pounds of used shoes delivered to our driveway. And so we just dug through those. Reality of like doing like pallets is you're not getting a lot of gold, but you are getting worth your money for sure. So 2 pallets, 1,000 pounds of shoes. If you do about 2,000 or 2 pounds per shoe, it's like 500 shoes probably total. We pulled out 80 from each pallet that are keepers. And by keepers, I mean we can make at least minimum listing a price of $35.
Wow.
And also that's athletic shoes and boots. I don't mess with heels. I don't mess with wedges. I don't mess with women's shoes other than athletic shoes. I'll do flats, but I don't want to get into heels and all that. It's just too much for my small brain. But my best find out of that pallet was I got some Danner boots. And I got a pair of boots called Alfred Sargent, which made in England. They're like 100+ boots. And then I got like 2 pair of Birkenstocks. So,
nice.
I have 160 pairs of shoes that I have to process, which is hard for me. If anybody knows, I'm very anti-death pile, but I'm learning, especially from like Little Elms Goods. is it's not really a death pile. If you just like clean all the shoes and then you just have them here, you can always just have it ready to batch.
So are you not gonna thrift or anything until you go through that whole pile?
That pile is going to probably take me 2 days just because my brain won't allow it to sit. So like after this live, I'll probably like run to the post office. We'll get food, and then it's going to be try to knock out. I've already got 40 of them cleaned, so just knock them all out, get them photographed, and then we can upload them in batches. But I want them at least processed, because I want to go to the thrift. But it's hard for me to like justify going to the thrift when I have 120 pairs of shoes that need to be processed here.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the game of being a reseller. You got to have some fun, or it's a job. Wholesale the leftovers. Actually, what we did with the quote unquote duds, which really they weren't duds. It's just not stuff I want to sell, or it's like Target brand, or I mean, there was like a lot of like Nine West and Banana Republic and all these some Klein lady. I don't know. Anne Klein. I don't know these people. I don't like them. No. We actually just posted the pallets, pictures of the pallets on Facebook Marketplace. Stacy's Facebook Marketplace, she sells stuff like crazy. Mine, nothing. So
you should post all your shoes on her account then.
Yeah, that or I was going to make my profile picture hers.
That was another thing I was going to say.
Yeah, it's going to be a catfish account, but she has like over, 250 or 300 sale things on their reviews or whatever. So she has like people that know that she's a trusted seller, but she posted the pallets for a quick move, like $200 a pallet. Like, come get them, because we had a hurricane coming anyway. And some lady came for one of them, and while she was here, she was like, would you do a deal on the other one? I'm like, yep, sure would. It's starting to rain. Hurricanes are going to be here in about 2 hours. So we sold all the duds, so everything's gone. All we had were the keepers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do I want to get into that more? I don't know, because if I start going 100% wholesale, then I don't get to go do the fun stuff, which is the treasure hunting. And then I'm just stuck in my house, and then your house turns into prison. And I've seen some crazy things in prison. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't even brought it up. We're about halfway through. Like, one of the reasons, like, I find your YouTube channel, your personality is so like hilarious to me is because if you've never watched Seinfeld, the way you interact with yourself is very George Costanza. Like, you question yourself, but you do it while filming, and you don't take that out. Like most people that make YouTube content, like for me, I just push record and then I can go cut everything out that I don't want, instead of like doing small batch recording. Like, okay, you have to say this line and then say it and then move on to the next one. I'll just record everything and cut out what I don't think needs to go in there. But you include some of that stuff, and I think it's the best part of the video.
Well, I do cut out a lot of stuff too.
You probably cut out stuff that I would think is like comedy gold, and then you just think that but you second guessing yourself on camera is probably one of the funniest things that I see on YouTube, even if you don't mean it to be. But like when you're talking about a pair of jeans that you sold or a board game, you're like, yeah, so I sold that for like $14. So, I don't know if that's a good sale. Maybe it's a good sale. I'm going to say it's a good sale. Like you have to, it's so hilarious to me. I'm like, yes, you convince yourself that you did something good. I love it. I don't know. That's why
you watch people on YouTube and you kind of like, yes, I feel like everyone has those doubts. And we're like, is this good? And then I'm making a video, and I was telling you before, like I went and found 3 pairs of jeans and 2 jackets today. Like, I'm not making a video about that. Who wants to watch a stupid video about me? Three pairs of, but like sometimes when I was more consistent on doing my videos. So if I had to do a video today, I would do a video on 3 pairs of jeans and 2 jackets. That's my video. It's probably the time. I feel like I should make a video now about that. Like 3 pairs of jeans and 2 jackets. And
I think it's the small stuff that you're doing that you don't think is the meat of the video, of the content, that's the most hilarious to me. That's what I watch. Like, I'm like, I know he's going to sell stuff because that's why he's making videos, but it's like, how does he feel about his sale, which is what draws me in to watch it.
I appreciate that. I want to have like a different. I mean, because I like you said, I'm doing good with genes and learning because I learned it all from watching other people. Like, and I mean, there's probably people that will find me and they'll watch something that I've done that I've learned from other people, and they'll learn, and then I'll be the person that they learned it from. But I don't want to make sure that I'm not trying to like push this off. So then, like, what am I going to do in my videos? It's just me kind of figuring out what I'm doing, and that's just kind of how I take it.
That's the best part. Is it's just you being you, but not editing that part of your personality out.
Take it out.
You're including it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like in your earlier videos, you would always have like a blooper reel at the end, which
I still
was I would literally, I was like, this dude is a freak. This was before I even started talking. This is when I was just watching your content. I was like, this dude is a freaking genius, and he doesn't even know it because he's getting all of my watch time right now because I know there's bloopers at the end. Yep. So I'm going to watch this whole video just so I can see the bloopers.
That's why I do it. That's why I did it.
Genius. Dude, it's genius.
Because I'm like, I got to get people to watch. And, you know, it's when I look at my analytics and stuff on my YouTube channel, I mean, I wish I had more. I'm my subscriber to non-subscriber views are not what they should. It's like 70-30, 80-20 a lot of the time. Like, so that, I mean, that needs to be better for myself. But my retention time is like 75-80% every video, 75-80% every time, just about. So
yeah, it's because, again, the way you film the things that everybody deals with, that we all second guess ourselves. We all like, dude, do I want to include this one on? Do I want to include this sale on the video? It kind of sucks. You put that out there, and then the bloopers at the end, man. I'm just like, that is a great way to guarantee people are going to watch it if they know, like, oh man, there's going to be bloopers at the end. Like, it's genius.
And then somebody sell, like, I just want to, I would feel bad if someone was like, they just see, oh, I sold this for $90. I sold this for $117. Yeah. I sold this for $80. And then this person goes like, well, Dan's doing, I'm quitting my job because this is hard. It's reselling. It's fun. And I love doing it. It's a hard. I mean, when I have to pay when I'm talking about, like, before I didn't take any money out, like now I'm paying myself. When it comes to payday, I look at what my bills are that I have to pay, and that's how much I pay myself. And I budget it out. I don't do anything different than I did when I had my job. So I have money to go out. If I want to buy pizza on football Sunday to watch some football, I can buy pizza. And that's what I did before. Yeah. But I'm strict to that, and that's what I pay myself. When I pull that money out, I'm like, oh, I don't want to pull this money out of my reselling because it's hard, man. When you know, because then tomorrow, like I said, I had one sale so far right now. Before my mom left, I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I haven't had a sale yet. Hopefully, I have a sale.
See you tomorrow. Hopefully,
if I have a sale, hopefully I have a sale. I need a sale, and then the sale comes through, and then, but that's the part that's kind of scary. I mean, but before I did this, if you don't follow me, I was a poker dealer. So I mean, I've lived off of tips for a while. That's what I did. Like I did.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. So you got kind of pushed into full-time reselling, correct?
Yeah. I found it. So before, about 2 years ago, so there's a part of years ago I did reselling. Like I found it. I did it for a few months and I got away from it. So then 2 years ago, I got kind of back into it. I was looking to pay off my credit card debt. I finally I was like, you know what? I really got to get my crap together in life. And I didn't have like a ton of credit card debt, and I made good money at my job. But I'm like, I just don't want to have to, I don't want to have to go to work all the time. And I can't spend my money on anything. So I got into reselling I was going to pay off my debt. And so that's how I got started in it. And I started doing YouTube with it too. And then I was just reselling, didn't really take it too serious. And then when the pandemic started, I started focusing more on it because I didn't have anything to do. And then last year they let me go from my job, and I was like, I'm going to just do this. I wanted to enjoy my holidays. It's been years since I've enjoyed my holidays. I was working at the casinos, and they're open 24/7. I missed a lot of holidays, and I wanted to just enjoy my holidays last year after being off for the entire year, basically. And I'm like, I'll look for something at the beginning of the year if I can. And then at the beginning of the year, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable in a spot doing what I'm doing. Maybe, as you go, I'm 2 years in now, so I feel a lot more comfortable than I did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I would spend 8 hours shipping and I'll make $15. Like literally 15. I have a video where I spent
I
8
remember
hours
that.
shipping and I made 15. I even did a breakdown in the video how I made $15. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's okay. I did good today. Next week will be better. And like, it's just like no big deal. I have
Again,
15 bucks.
those are my favorite, because usually when you see
Real.
somebody doing a breakdown video, it's because like they made like $1,000 or whatever, and here you are with like, so I just spent 6 hours packing this stuff, and I'm gonna make $15, and I'm like, this is the greatest video I've ever seen in my life.
If I didn't, I don't know where I would be if I didn't like just get the motivation or the will to do, I don't know, but to do a YouTube channel. I seriously thought I was smart at this. I thought I was great. And then I'm like watching when I filmed, I'm like, oh my God, I'm horrible. I was like doing a video on like shipping a board. I sold the board. First, I bought a board game for $20. I sold it for $30, and it cost me free shipping, and it cost me like $13 to ship it. And I'm shipping the board game, and I have no idea how to ship it. I'm like, well, it didn't fit in the box, and I just kind of threw the box down. And then I'm like, don't know what I'm doing. I had no idea what was going on.
It's so good, man, because it's like you're a full-time reseller, so you're doing something right, but for whatever reason, your personality highlights the things that you think are wrong.
Well, you gotta get someone. You gotta get a way for someone to watch your channel. Like,
so you're like you're the opposite of a bolo video. You're like,
yeah,
don't do this.
yeah, don't
like a no video. But it's great, and I mean, you're still able to pay your bills. So I mean, again, at the end of the day, you're paying all your bills, and you still get pizza for Sundays. You're doing enough to make it work, and you don't have a boss, so you are winning. Because there's a lot of people that would kill to be in a position to where they don't have to go to work, and they would be. You never know what your level that you're living is. Somebody else's, like, that's their paradise.
It's amazing. I mean, I absolutely love it. Like, if I don't want to leave, I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to go nowhere. I mean, during the winter, this last winter, I spent, excuse me, I stayed inside for 10 days straight because it was snowing. Like, I hate the snow, and I live in Indiana, so it snows in the winter. I just stay home, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Has Dodger gone through a snowstorm or a winter yet? Or
No, it's gonna be his first one.
Oh my God, that Texas dog is gonna freak out.
This dog does not care about anything. He doesn't.
He just wants you there at all times.
He's just like, I mean, during 4th of July, I mean, there's fireworks going off, booms and everything. He's nothing. Like, he does not care about anything. So I'm hoping I'm hoping he'll be okay in the snow, but I'm anxious to see what's good. Yeah. No, I'm not too anxious because I don't want to see the stupid snow anyway.
You have to get him a little sweater or something.
And he says we need more Dan videos. That is the one thing I
agree.
That's the one thing it's hard right now, because I'm at a point where, oh man, because I used to be, I had to do a video every 3 days, and sometimes it's been hard. This week, the other thing with Oscar's my old dog, with Dodger, is he has heartworm, and he had to go through, I don't know how much you know about it, but I don't know much, but he went through his 2nd and his 3rd treatment this week.
Yeah.
And it was a rough couple days. Like, I had to take him there, and he had to spend the night overnight, and then the next day, Tuesday night, he came home, and I mean, he stayed up all night crying. I mean, it was rough on him. So I just didn't have I didn't get a time to do a video I just didn't have time this week. And that's the one thing I wish I could do, is more videos. As much as I was like, I at least one a week, and then this week's just not going to happen for me.
So when I used to try and have a YouTube schedule, I would feel this just unnecessary pressure that I had to do it, to the point where it became a turnoff to me. And then at the same point, it's like, I'll never miss a live if I can't help it. Like, even if my guest bails, I'll do it myself. Because this is something that I can stick to. The kids aren't here, and I actually enjoy just interacting with other resellers more than I actually like making videos. So my brain is constantly like, dude, just do lives. Like, just do like a live, have a podcast. You don't even have to have guests. Just talk about reselling and what's going on. But it's hard for me to focus on something that doesn't really bring in a crap ton of money towards my business, which is reselling. Like, yes, I make money off of YouTube. It's not crazy. I can maybe like get a couple tanks of gas a month off of YouTube. Yes, I got a sponsor, but that's more towards like social media content, not for YouTube. But when I started pressuring myself with like, okay, you have to do a video a week, like I immediately, the care to do it was gone. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. So now I'm just like, I got a live show. If I make a video, great. No pressure. But I try to focus on what's actually bringing in the money, which is the reselling. And if I happen to remember to document it, great. I mean, my buddy gifted me this freaking
that's awesome.
GoPro Mystery Box with the, there it is. It's on the little chesticle thing with the GoPro and everything. And he got me I downloaded the app so it pairs with your phone, so you can automatically save onto your phone into iMovie, so you don't have to like put it in a computer or anything. But I literally, that's the second time I've picked it up. Like, I don't know. I don't think about filming a lot. And then like when I'm breaking down these pallets, I'm like, crap, I should have filmed this.
It's like after the fact. I think that's, I don't know, at some point maybe it's like after the part of it is, oh man, that would have been pretty good of a video.
Yeah. That's when I second guess myself, is like after the fact. I'm like, shit, I should have filmed this.
Let me tape all these boxes back up together.
Yeah, let me dump all these shoes back in and pretend that I'm doing this. And then I feel like it's fake, so I don't want to do it even more than I already didn't. I just need to have like a little sign, like what would Dan do? What would Art Vandelay do? So I can remember. But the other part of me, like, and this is more of the reality of just my personality. Like, I'm crazy and off the wall and just say whatever I want in any public setting, but I don't want to be that kind of personality and then have a freaking stick with a camera on it, because then it's like, is that guy really just out of his mind, or is he just doing that because of the camera? And I want people to know that this is real crazy. This isn't social media crazy. So like when I see Harry do a video and he's like walking into the store with it, and I'm just like, how do you do that?
Oh man, I've messaged, I don't know how many. Anytime I'll talk to someone with they're like, what is one thing you want to know? I'm like, how do you film in public? I mean, I have messaged, I'll bug people about it. I'm like, and then I'll think I'll have the nerve to do it, and then I'll see some crazy TikTok of somebody flipping out on somebody for recording something. I'm like, well, I'm not doing it now.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because you also don't like recording. And because I remember one of your videos, you were talking to the camera. You were in your car. You were talking, and then I guess somebody parked next to you, or somebody like walked by, and you were just like, oh God, there's somebody next. You like moved the camera down. You're like, there's somebody next to me. Like you.
I've tried all kinds of tricks. I've gone to the, just went to public in public, parked my car and got out, started filming like everything. I should put that into a video. I don't know if people would watch that, but just me trying to, that's a good video idea.
Yeah.
Reselling though.
Dan tries to film. That's a video.
I should. That's a good idea.
And then you just like film yourself, like trying to talk yourself up in the car.
Like,
all right.
And then talk to people, be like, if they ask you, be like, I'm trying to film in public, man.
Like, first of all, I'm trying to get better at filming in public, and you're really stressing me out.
Well, I don't know if it's just me or if it's everyone else in the world. Whenever I'm any place, people come and they stand right next to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stand right next to me. Like, why are you standing right by me?
So it's funny, when I was younger and like started getting tattoos, I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. Because when I was like younger, I was still crazy, but I was very like antisocial. Like, you're a normal person, leave me alone. Like, you're not weird like me. And then I was like, oh, these tattoos, and people are going to be like, oh, that guy's freaking weird. Let's stay away from him. But it backfired. That's like the main thing that draws people in. Like, someone will just walk up and be like, you sure do have a lot of tattoos. And I'm like, damn it. Why? In the middle of filming, I'm just like, yeah, I was doing something, which is also weird that I'm doing something in a store. I don't know. I don't know how these people do it. Like, I've reached out to this is a horrible plug, but I'm doing it. I reached out to Cincinnati Picker, who's going to be on the show next Thursday.
Really?
Yes. we will have the Cincinnati Picker on
I
Flipping
gotta
Live
make
Show.
sure I'm not doing anything next.
Yeah, so mark your calendars.
Oh, that's awesome.
I asked him, like, dude, how do you just? First of all, you're like a huge YouTuber. Like everybody like goes to Josh as the standard because he grows. His channel grows very quickly, and he's definitely knows what he's doing. But John's over like 207,000, and to do yard sale footage in his area, like my brain is like, dude, all these people know who you are. How do you still film and not have somebody like, unless you edit it out, which it doesn't look like his edits are out when he walks up, like, how are people not just like, oh, Cincinnati Bigger's here again? Like, and he was like, oh, I just put it on my backpack. And I'm like, so you carry a backpack? Like, I don't want to carry a purse just to film. Like, that's what I think a backpack is. I don't know.
I always thought it would be weird to have because I knew I know there's quite a few. Commonwealth has a backpack, and
yeah,
RVA
a lot of them do.
Yeah. When and Lonnie, they all have backpacks, and I'm like, that's a great idea because then you just put your IKEA bags in your backpack, and you're going to the garage sale, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna I just buy stuff. I got my backpack, and they won't see that. They won't pay attention to your camera. But I have gone so many Saturdays to the garage sale, and I have my backpack on in my car, and I get out, and I'm like, well, I'm leaving the backpack in the car. I'm just gonna walk up here by myself. Like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
It's like I can barely walk up to a person at a yard sale, let alone film them without them knowing. Because then my brain's just thinking about, oh God, if you get them on film, they're gonna have to tell them you're filming, or oh, what if they see your video and they're like, take my face off your video?
And I've seen Josh Harry walk up. I've seen people like, is he filming? And he'll just walk up. Yeah, I'm filming. I got a YouTube channel. And they start talking to him about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I should do that. I mean, it's just
yeah, I mean, I think we both have the same thing. Like, we know the answer. Yeah. We just don't apply it.
I feel like it's I don't know. It's some people are just faster at getting it out. Like, I talked to my one neighbor. I have one neighbor who I don't. She's worried about my sticks outside, but the other one I'm cool with. And the other day he's like, "Are you off today?" And I'm like, off all the time now. I work from home. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I sell on eBay. He's like, really?
Oh, you're oh, okay, bye. Yeah, I never know how to have.
I was telling Joe and Mike, the Philly Picker and the January House, we do a show on Wednesdays, and I was telling them about it. And Mike's like, you should have told them that if you want to get rid of anything. I'm like, I didn't even think of that I didn't even think of it. You told me about it. I'm like, yeah, I need it. And then sometimes I bought like this is when I first started a couple years ago. I bought a big box of like audiobooks from someone on Facebook, and they're like, what are you going to do with all these? I mean, it was like 100. Like, what are you going to do with all these? I'm like, I'm going to sell them. I'm like, I'm going to, and then she sold me some other stuff. So I guess it's just sometimes I'm comfortable saying something. I don't really know if I was comfortable. I guess obviously I wasn't comfortable telling my neighbor I was going to do this because I don't know why, but I guess I don't know. Maybe he didn't look like he had any good shoes on. I don't think, but I did talk to my buddy the other day. He had some Brooks shoes on. I was like, when you're done with those shoes, man,
what you doing with those Brooks there? Yeah. You know how like Drew Profit Monsters is always trying to like buy a vintage shirt off somebody's back. I was like, man, how funny would that video be if like I find somebody wearing like some Hokas or something. I'm just like, hey, I like your shoes. $25 right now. Like, how does that not come off like a crazy person? Like,
I don't have a backpack on, and then inside the backpack you have those duds, and you just trade them.
Yeah, like, what size are you? I got you. I got a replacement for you. You don't have to walk barefoot. Says no John. He's quiet. Surprised how much he opened up when he. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't. Like you were just saying, like if somebody asked, like that's happening. The guy at Starbucks. Oh, yeah, I did try that. Yeah, I backfired horribly. So there's like this 18-year-old kid at the drive-thru at Starbucks, and he was wearing a Travis Scott shirt. And he was burnt out. And by burnt out, I mean he was probably like high out of his mind. Because when he gave me the total, and I always like mess with people through drive-thrus because I'm like, well, I'm going to brighten their day. And I probably ruin it, but I'm like, I'm going to brighten their day. So I like talking in accent or say something dumb. And I ordered our drinks, and he goes, well, that'll be it. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, your total's about $10.90. And I said, about? He's like, yeah, it's about $10.90. I'm like, all right. So I got to the window. I'm like, what's this about thing? Like, it's a set price. Like, whatever the price is, it's not about. I'm like, I'm about to give you like $8 and you're going to make it work. I'm like, this is how Starbucks works. But I noticed he was wearing that shirt and I was like, hey man, like, I give you $20 for that shirt. He's like, this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, why? I'm like, it's a Travis Scott shirt. It sells for like $150. He's like, this shirt? I'm like, yeah, we've already had this conversation. Yes, that shirt you're wearing. He's like, $20? Why would I sell it to you for 20 if it sells for 150? I'm like, because you didn't know it sold for 150, so I told you. That's like the only person I've tried to buy something off. And then I went back to Starbucks a few days later and he was working and he was just like, you tried to buy my shirt. I'm like, you're still high. Just what the hell?
Hopefully he sold the shirt.
He probably still wearing it, man. He was real burnt out. But yeah, like I always wanted to buy like shoes off of somebody. I thought it'd be great content, but again, it's like, how do I do that in a non-creepy way? Like, especially if you have a camera on, like if you ask anybody something and you're wearing a camera, like in my mind, I'm getting red flags, like serial killer. Like,
first you gotta make sure they're 18.
Yeah. So see, that is the worst way to start a conversation. Hi, how you doing? My name's Chris. How old are you? It's like,
do you want to come back to my
how old you were, and I wanted everybody to hear you say that out loud before I offer you this candy.
You want to come back to my van? I want to buy your shoes, and I have some shoes you can pick. I have some.
That's the worst part is I have a van full of shoes.
You can come check out my shoes in my van. We'll find you the right fit.
But yeah, like you were saying, like when your neighbor asking like what you do, like I don't understand, and then I kind of understand why this niche, or I mean, it's work, it's honest work, damn it. Why most resellers are like, they don't project what they do. They're like, oh, importing, exporting. I'm an architect.
Yeah.
Which is happening to me right now. So like we've already started sending notices to our pest control customers like, hey, this is your last service. We're closing. Good luck. And then all day, every time I go, every stop. So you're closing. What are you doing? Are you going to go work for another company? I'm like, oh, I have another business. Really? What do you do? I'm not want to tell somebody that I've been killing their bugs for 5 years. Oh, I sell used shoes. I'm giving up this arachnophobia life so I can become my true mortal form, which is Al Bundy. Yeah. I want to be Al Bundy. And they're like, oh, shoes. Oh, okay.
But my neighbor's like, what do you sell? I'm like, whatever.
That's the worst question.
Whatever I find.
And then you definitely don't want to tell them, oh, I make YouTube videos for money. Like,
I didn't tell him about my YouTube channel. I guess I could have.
I think that what I'm gonna have to do to get over the thing, especially with the GoPros, like if somebody asks me, like, hey, are you filming? I'm like, yeah, I got an OnlyFans account. Don't worry about it. You won't be on it. Like, just do something like that, just to like move on from it.
When some people do find out about my YouTube channel, they just kind of like, oh yeah, and then they'll go to my channel and like, oh wow, you're doing pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it's not, it's not a. What did you think? I was just like, dude, just nothing. Like, it was hard at first, like to tell somebody, yeah, I got a YouTube channel and here's I have one video that I'm scared and that I don't want anyone to watch. Like, Patrick Murphy?
Yeah, it's what do you think? I'm just making that's awesome, man. Man, this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna have to you're gonna have to be a regular spot on this show because it's already been an hour and it went super fast.
Yeah, it did go. It went fast when we talked on my channel.
I know. This sucks. We're gonna have. So I have mentioned to Mike. His handle is one of the only ones that I ever feel awkward. Not awkward. I feel bad when I'm like. So I was talking to Jiggly Mike about. It's just like. So I was like, I'm talking with Mike, and then nobody knows who I'm talking about. So then I'm like, so Jiggly Thrift. I had mentioned to him that I thought it would be awesome to have a podcast. and he's down. So maybe we can make it a triple threat podcast, but a little bit funnier. No offense to the triple threat. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, exactly. Time flies. Exact. That's why I wanted to have you on. Like I said, you're hilarious to me.
I appreciate it. It's been awesome. Everyone in the chat. Hopefully, I know you say it because you're just as bad as the chat as I am.
Oh, I'm horrible, dude. I have all these banners that I'm supposed to pull up, and I'm just like, I use like 2. Like my main thing is like, as long as I get to promote whoever my guest is, and then I don't even do like the commercial spots or anything that I'm supposed to do. I'm just like, yeah, see, he's down. I'm telling you, we can get some kind of like podcast, because honestly, if I was doing a live show a week and then I had like a podcast or something like once a week or twice a month, I probably would stop making videos, because there's so many other people that you could get way better quality content videos. I don't think you're going to get anybody better for a live show, because I think I'm a great host. But as far as just general reselling content, like there's so many videos you could watch. It's not rocket science, as long as you just literally buy low, sell high. That's my video. Thanks for watching. I do like seeing interesting finds, and I thought the dumpster diving thing would be huge, but it wasn't. So now I just have shoes delivered to my house, so nobody wants to watch that. I'm like, oh, he got another pallet delivered to his house. Great.
Is it just, well, like you only buy shoes. I guess if you bought something else that just wasn't shoes, that could be interesting.
Yeah, like I could get into that, but see, Josh did that. He bought like 20 freaking pallets from Goodwill, and then he said that's when his video started spiking, when he was making all those videos. And it's like, oh God, do I want to do that just for content, just to get my?
I don't think I want to do it.
Yeah, I'd rather make my current average right now is 11 to 14 sales a day.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so I would rather concentrate on that versus content. So
flip the jiggly Vandelay.
Yes. 100% down. That's awesome. I will get t-shirts made. Yeah, see? Half price fried chicken. That's what I'm talking about. I don't even eat meat, and that's more entertaining than like I don't know. I've learned that as I've gotten more into the niche, like I don't watch a lot of like reseller content for reselling content. I actually watch it for like A, to support people, and then B, like people's personalities. I like certain parts of people's personalities. I watch Harry Tornado, and I've told him this before. I watch Harry Tornado because of his editing, how he cuts his videos, the way he presents them. Like I'm trying to learn little YouTube tricks by watching him. I'm not learning anything reselling. Not that he's not a good reseller or anything. That's not what I watch his videos for. Like you're just freaking hilarious. And even the adding your bloopers at the end, like I said, like whether you plan to do that or not, it was a genius way to make sure that people are getting your view duration, which is really all it comes down to. Likes, make sure you like the video, guys, or the live. Drop a comment and tell me your favorite video that Dan's put out and why it was funny. Really, that's all. YouTube is pretty simple. It's a pretty simple beast. View duration, likes, comments. That's going to get you more of them pushing your stuff.
I like to see people's processes of their how they're running their business.
Yeah, that's good, but a lot of people don't share a lot of that, which I don't understand. Like, if you want to watch how I pack stuff, let's do it, man. It's boring as hell.
Yeah, like just kind of seeing how they have stuff set up. Like it's stuff that maybe they don't even have to make it a video, but like just how, I'm watching your video, and if you just sat here and I would see all those shoes back there, I'm like, oh, okay, so he gets these shoes. I might look to see if you have if I can work that in. I don't have anything that I'll feel confident in having my shoes like that in my business. I keep my shoes in a tote just because they're in my garage.
Yeah, you put them in poly bags too, right?
I used to, and now I've stopped because I had a pair that was moldy. I didn't
they got
long enough.
Moisture, yeah.
Yeah, so I did stop. So I've started to use some of my smaller totes so I have less shoes in there because I was worried they're gonna get dirty. But sitting in the garage like that, I'd be scared they get dirty or like spiders would crawl in them or stuff like that. So if they're in my garage, so I wouldn't be able to, but that's the stuff I look at is like how people do that. Or I don't know. I don't just pick up on little stuff that they do. Like everything I do is all the inventory systems, all stuff I just watched. Maybe they didn't talk about it in depth, or I just kind of noticed it and just looked at it.
how people do their inventory is a huge. I love that's fascinating to me. Like I like those type of videos because like Dana, he's still in the chat.
Mhm.
Dana doesn't do any inventory,
No inventory.
none at all. It's all memorized. Which I'm just like, what?
He has a lot of stuff listed. He has a lot.
Yeah,
of
he's like, I
inventory.
think Dana, you got what, over 700, 800 things listed? Like, and he has it all.
Man,
Like, if something sells, he's like, oh, I know where that is. That's in the garage on the 7th shelf. Okay, okay,
what?
Rain Man. I'm just like, my system's pretty cavemanian. It's see the shoe, pull the shoe, and then everything else is new in box. So it's literally label facing out. And in the garage where I have the new in box shoes, Nike wall, Saucony wall, Reebok wall, things like 1,300 listings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he has a ton.
Freaking crazy to have that many listings.
Nuts.
What's up, Jesse? Hey, Jesse, while you're in the chat, man, if you could tell me the size of that ring that I'm trying to buy from you for like the last month, that'd be freaking great. Jesse is a high-end vintage jewelry reseller and t-shirts. But he has the worst customer service. I'm like, hey, dude, I want to buy one of your rings. What size is it? 6 months later. Hey, Jesse, you still got that ring? Yeah. What size is it? I don't know. But yeah, y'all check him out too. Jangle and Jack VTG on Instagram. He sells a lot of crazy like stuff that you would for money, the celebrity stuff. Like I'm talking like crazy stuff.
That's crazy.
I do the same thing, all memory. Yeah, see, even with 600 things, all memory, just my mind. I have a pretty good memory, but
I got to the first time I lost something, I had maybe 4 or 5 totes of stuff. My first time I lost something, I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this. I gotta do something. I mean, I have stuff that I know is in my room. I have a shelf in my room that's in a closet. I know it's in there, and it's just on one of those shelves.
Yeah.
And but it's like, I have all my DVDs together, all that stuff. I know where it's at. But I mean, after that, shoot, I have all my clothes down to like the number. Like I have a SKU number, so and they're all in. I have 12 bins of clothes, and they're each numbered, and so I can go in. I mean, it's great. And my shoes I have my shoes separated. They're in like I'm in 6th bin of shoes. I couldn't do that. I could not do that.
So my bins for like my jeans, because that's really other than shoes, jeans, and we have some miscellaneous stuff. Like I love selling boppets because I know they sell, and little things like that I know I've sold before a million times and they sell quick. I obviously don't leave them on the shelf, but so I have just like 2 bins that just say stuff 1 and stuff 2, and I just put S1 or S2 at the end of the SKU, so I know that. Thank you. And then for jeans, it's just like women's A, B, C, D, and then I just refill as they get low. But I mean, shoes obviously is pretty simple. I like to visually see them if they're used, which I have like 2 bins down here that are cleaned and ready. I just don't have any space, so I have to get another rack. I appreciate you moving your head to the side like you were trying to look around me, even though we're on camera.
Oh, did I do that?
You tried to look over my shoulder.
I didn't realize I did that.
This is that extended cut. This is what happens when you go after an hour, man.
Yeah.
You tried to look. You like moved to the side.
You're trying to get off of here, and I'm just making it worse.
So good. Speaking of inventory, I don't like this person. I don't want to say it like that. That sounds horrible. See, now I got me talking like you. I'm second guessing my words. I'm not a fan of this person per se, the way that they are. But Daily Refinement, his inventory system is amazing. His content sucks and he's not good, but his inventory is awesome. I like his analytics. And just before everybody screenshots that and sends it to him, he doesn't stick to anything other than his inventory, and that drives me nuts.
The words of the show are just of Chris of Flip the World, not of anyone else that's involved in this episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be real weird when I ask him to be a guest. No.
hey, you want to come on my show? I just want to tell you to your face, you suck.
No, and honestly, what it is I'm sure the guy's great. What it is he'll make a video and he'll like say, this is what I'm doing now. And then 2 videos later, he's already off of that onto something else. And so it's just like, dude, for somebody with like pages of analytics, like just be consistent for at least a week before you change your mind. I mean, or don't make a video about something that you're going to start and then just automatically jump off it, because I don't think you're going to get, you can't even test the process that in that short amount of time. Anyway, that's my gripe. You guys can send that to him. I'm pretty sure I could beat him up if we ever met in person, so I'm okay with that. That's how I base my life. Is like, if I could beat him up, I could say whatever I want about him.
I am not looking to fight anyone. I'm
Again, the views expressed on the Flipping Live show are of Chris with Flip the World only, and not the guest. No. Yeah, man, that's probably a good place to wrap.
Yeah. And on that note,
let's get out of here. No. Oh yeah, well, see, I wasn't going to bring that up, but I'll post it on the screen. I'm going to give you the last whatever to plug anything you have. Plug your channel, plug you yourself, man. Like I said, one of my favorite people. I love your content. You're hilarious. You need to get more active on Instagram. Start doing stories or something, because I think they would be hilarious.
I really do. I wish I knew more about Instagram.
You need to get with Mike, Mr. Jiggly, and I think your TikTok could grow just as fast as his, because your personality and the way you film yourself is freaking hilarious, man.
I appreciate that. It's great.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, thanks for having me on. It's crazy that I mean, every time I talk to you, you always take me up a notch. I really appreciate that. I mean, I don't really have much going on this week. I'm working. I'm just gonna be working. So hopefully, video. Well, I'll have a video hopefully next week. Well, I will next week. I'll have a video, and just gonna keep grinding on. I do have a TikTok, but it's just randomly when I want to do something. It's nothing to do with reselling. I'll just make a TikTok of something I think is funny. Usually it's Dodger right now, but I'll make some randomly. But that's all about. I wish you didn't give me the floor to end this show, because it's people definitely cut off right now because I don't really know what else to say. But I really appreciate having me on it. Everyone in the chat, and if you're watching this on replay, I really appreciate you watching on. Did you mute yourself?
No, I'm holding my mouth, dude. You're doing exactly what I love watching. You're literally, instead of, you're plugging yourself, but then also like slightly not plugging yourself and then second guessing what you're saying.
Well, because I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, yeah. Well, because
I'm letting you blooper the end of the show.
Yeah, because all this stuff, it's like, when I first found TikTok, I'm like, all right, I got to do TikTok. But at the time, I'm doing 2 or 3 videos a week on my channel. Like, I don't have time for TikTok. And then it kind of went away. And then I'm like, TikTok's just kind of to get away from some stuff. And then I started following resellers on TikTok. So now I'm watching reselling stuff on TikTok. Like, I love watching Jiggly Thrift. I love his videos.
Yeah. So I think since TikTok is like more geared towards pretty much how society is now, like the instant gratification, slow, or I'm not reading a book today.
Yeah.
That didn't sound right at all. We should have ended like 10 minutes ago. I think you just filming yourself, either second guessing yourself about something like in your car, or you trying to film yourself and get comfortable in public. That's the TikTok. Like, that's your video.
Good idea.
Yeah. It's like, Dan tries to film in a thrift. Yeah, I can't do it. It's just,
are you filming? Are you?
Just run out.
Like one of those. You'll see a picture, which they might be, but it'll be like some creepy dude who's like taking pictures of a girl. That's what will happen to me when I'm out there. Like,
yeah,
are you filming me, sir? Are you filming me? I'm like, no, I'm trying to film for my YouTube people.
You start second guessing yourself and sweating while someone's accusing you of like, were you just filming my daughter? No, see, I was. There were shoes on the aisle, and I like shoes, but no, I didn't even see your daughter. But
this is the women's shoe aisle.
And you just run out of this. I watched that 100 times. I don't know if that helped your view count on TikTok, but I watched that 100 times. That's so funny to me.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what'll happen. But
I like those kinds of encounters. I think they're more genuine and they're hilarious to watch. But I also agree that I think that's what would happen to me if I was filming, or it'd be the manager be like, you can't film in here. Like flipping accountant, like how he just walks around Walmart filming.
Yeah. Like, no, he starts the video and just start here. He's like, hey guys, it's Justin. And I'm like, what are you doing? How do you do that?
we've been in Walmart, and the one by our house, that's where we shop if we don't go to Target. I go there all the time. As soon as we walk in, like we'll be going down some aisles, and then I'm like, security's following us, the undercover security. Like I know who he is. I'm just like, Jesus, man, we've already been down this before. And so I always just like, and I never film, but I'll just turn around and I'll be like, I know you're not looking at candles. I'm not going to steal anything. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I've seen you arrest people. I have the same license as you. I'm an officer. Leave me alone. And then, of course, I steal a bunch of stuff. No, I'm just kidding. All right, man. Thank you for anybody watching on the replay. Thank you for anybody that stuck this out. This
Awesome.
is why I love doing the lives. Thank you to my guest, Dan. Anything that was horrible, I said it, not him. He's a great person. Don't take it out on him. And that's it, guys. Thank you for staying in the chat. Make
Thanks,
sure you
all.
hit the thumbs up and all the good stuff for eBay's algorithm.
Bye-bye. Thank you.